Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 11 of my 1 vs 3 vs 3 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I am playing against two separate teams of 3 Emperor AI per team, and I am playing as the Halfling Dreadnought, Welby the Tinkerer. In our last episode, we encountered one of our teams of 3, I should say, and you can see here that we now know who we're up against, as we did have all of our opponents randomized for this series. So you can see here that we have a Halfling Rogue, a Human Warlord, and a High Elf Theocrat. And last episode, the Human Warlord had sent some of his troops down into the domain here of Beb Jun, and we actually battled a few of them here with our kind of miscellaneous stack right here, and we actually killed off and kind of drew first blood in the battle against our actual opponents here. So that really was kind of I think a decisive turn, as we've now, I would say, very comfortably moved into the mid-game. And as you can see, and as I've said, we now are aware of at least half of our opponents. So lots of things are going to probably start happening, I suspect. I imagine that we're going to probably have additional incursions into our territory from our opponents now that we kind of know where they are and they know where I am, at least to an extent. So I suspect we're going to have a lot of action coming up. Now, before I dive into this episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the last episode. The first of those comes from Ivan Engel. Ivan mentioned that I should probably consider doing this quest that's been offered here by the Outpost of Decry. So last episode, I had gotten this quest offer, and I was kind of trying to decide whether or not I was going to do it. And if we look here, tell me more about the quest. You can see here that we're going to be fighting some Draconian Raptors, so probably not all that difficult a quest. It's actually very easy, so should be fairly straightforward to take out. There's a couple of reasons why I was considering not doing it. So one is that all we're getting is a peace treaty and a Draconian Raptor, which really doesn't necessarily make that worth it for me. Although, once I've completed this quest, it would probably just be a couple of turns until we can vassalize the Outpost of Decry. Now, if we back out of this, though, the other reason is that you can see here in the Shadow Realm, this outpost is kind of off by itself. It's not near where the rest of my troops are. However, what Ivan points out is that just at the end of last episode, we completed the Empire quest to be multicultural, and we have all these different support units that we obtained as a reward for that. And you can see here we've got the Brew Brother, a Blight Doctor, a Mystic, and an Elder. So now with these units, in addition to the rewards for completing the quest for what is now our vassal city here of Rakhalin, so we obtained these Shadow Elf units, I probably have enough units that I could send off maybe a stack of like 3 or maybe 4 units. I don't even need to necessarily have a hero accompanying them. I could send them off to do this quest and still kind of reap the benefits without having to really commit the bulk of my forces to do so. And I think that's a great idea. I'm going to think about that a little more, but I'm definitely considering doing that at this point. So, great suggestion there from Ivan. The next set of comments comes from Gladden. Gladden just wanted to point out kind of a reminder to make items in order to allow my... I'm just jumping over to my throne city here. To allow my non-Dreadnought heroes to repair machine units. So a good example of this is War Master Habby, and I've actually already started doing this. So last episode, I completed the production of my repair kit item, which has Repair Machine. So that is a usable item that gives War Master Habby the ability to actually repair machines and maintain a stack of machine units, which is obviously very, very powerful. Now, I can also produce, in addition to Repair Machine, there's also a skill called Emergency Repair. So there's actually 2 different types of items I could make and send to my non-Dreadnought heroes to allow them to maintain a stack of machine units and to keep them in functional order here, and be able to then kind of repair them after battle, as they're obviously going to be taking some damage. So great suggestion there from Gladden to just remember to continue to make use of my Arcane Item Forge. The next set of comments comes from Spencer Judd. Spencer pointed out that something I could consider doing is moving my units over to Valok here, as this is now going to likely be kind of a frontline city. We've seen an incursion from the Human Warlord, probably from up kind of in this area where I'm moving my cursor, either that or off in this mist. But the unit came down kind of along this little opening right here, just north of this shadow gate. So it's very likely that we're also going to be coming under attack in Valok. Therefore, what Spencer's pointing out is that I could actually send War Master Habby over there, kind of have him move along through this path right here, clear out some of these structures on his way over, move over to Valak, at which point I could actually accept their join offer, as I'd now have a unit in place to be able to defend it. I could clear out some of these structures, like, for example, the Florok Quarry. I could also go and get rid of this Beast Den, and at the same time I can upgrade and start working on the production and defense capabilities of Valok, which I think is a great idea, as that is going to become a frontline city, I think, in the very near future. The other option would be if I don't send War Master Habby, I could also consider sending Pimpton, as he's kind of in a good position to be able to start working his way over that way as well. And I probably want to send at least one of those two maybe underground here and clear out any spawning structures that are going to cause me issues as well. So I can decide kind of if I want to do that with either of these stacks, but I'm probably going to send one of them over as Spencer has suggested. So a great point there from Spencer. One other thing Spencer mentioned is that I should probably consider beefing up the defense of my capital, whether that takes the form of producing the defensive structure here, rabbit burrows, or if I want to just produce a couple more units here. I think just because we have this Rise of the Dire Penguin coming along, I might build a cannon or two just to really augment the defense, and then once that event is over, I can send the cannons off to join other units. But just a couple of great points there from Spencer. Next set of comments comes from Ivan Rockland. Now, Ivan wanted to kind of point out something that I thought was actually a really good idea here, and that would be to take a unit from Beb Jun here and send it underground, such that then we could start eating away at all of these diggable walls, and we could then reap some extra gold income for doing that. So we would need a unit that has tunneling. So of our units here that we currently have, we could send the Builder, although I might want to keep the Builder around just to maintain some of these machine units. But, for example, the Builder does have tunneling, and we could also consider producing something like a Goblin Untouchable, which I believe, yes, the Goblin Untouchable has tunneling. The Goblin Rabble does not have tunneling, so we wouldn't be able to use them. But we have some options here, so probably the Untouchable would be our best bet. I don't think the Engineer has tunneling. No. So we would probably want to consider using a Goblin Untouchable, either the one that we already have, or we could build another one. Send him off underground and just hope he doesn't get attacked by any roaming units. And then once he's down there, he could start digging out those walls for some extra gold, which I definitely could use, as I'm kind of always running low on gold. So great suggestion there from Ivan. And then finally, I'd like to acknowledge Casper Eklund for a number of great comments he made here. So Casper pointed out that in regards to this upcoming penguin event here, my cannons, if I produce them, will make short work of the penguins. They're really, really good for city defense, especially when I have my walls constructed. Also, Halfling Jesters can panic animal units, which is another benefit if I decide to make Jesters to kind of save some money instead of making cannons. Casper wanted to mention that I did miss a possible chance to kill off some of that human warlord's, Colm, some of Colm's heroes. So this stack that had come down and was kind of camped out right outside of Beb Jun here, what I could have done is actually sent one of my spy drones over to take a look at and see if there were any other units that were hiding around him, and then I could have just sent all my units over to try to kill him and kind of eliminate some heroes. So missed opportunity there, but thankfully we still were able to kill off at least a few of his units. Casper Eklund also wanted to point out that the mana drain I was talking about, as I was kind of running low and still am sort of low on mana, that was primarily, Casper just wanted to point out, that was probably mostly due to me producing items, which is fairly costly when it comes to mana. I had sort of mused about whether or not it was due to me using Smite too much, but the spell Smite only uses 12 mana per cast. I only used it maybe 4 or 5 times, so not a ton of mana use there. Most of my mana drain is now coming from producing items. So great point there from Casper. And then finally, Casper also wanted to mention that the Theocrat opponent here, so one of the 3 opponents being a Theocrat actually might be a benefit to me, since my machine units are going to be immune to spirit damage, and that might give me an advantage against them. Great points from everybody there. A big thank you to all of you for leaving the fantastic comments. As always, they are extremely appreciated. So let's dive in here, as we've got a lot to do, and I think things are going to start picking up now that we have this discovery here of these these AI opponents. So let's think about kind of how we want to proceed here. Now, since we have this Rise of the Dire Penguins coming in the next few turns, we obviously are going to have to continue to defend our cities. And as you can see, our throne is not currently very well defended. So I think we're going to produce a cannon right off the bat here. We're going to want that for our throne, just to have some defense. We're going to need something in Hard Thistle. We're working on a flame tank, which we're going to add into War Master Habby's stack. War Master Habby, we were going to bring him down to deal with this Flow Rock Quarry and improve the production capability here of Hard Thistle, which is going to make a big difference for me. So I think maybe what we'll do with War Master Habby currently, though, is unfortunately we have some roaming units that have popped up that are going to need to be dealt with. So let's send War Master Habby up to eliminate them. And again, our robots are in kind of rough shape, so we're going to have to be very careful in this battle, as we don't want to lose them if we can avoid it. But either way, we're going to have to kill off these roaming units, because they are posing a bit of a threat to us. Now, they do shock damage, which unfortunately our machine units are weak to, so we may have to figure out sort of an alternate strategy here. I think maybe if we let the Wyvern sort of come at us, we can hopefully eliminate... Now, thankfully, we do also have Fire Spit as an ability from the shrine that we encountered. So, I think what we'll do is we'll move our engineers over, and we'll bring our musketeers kind of over next to them as well. Okay, and then I think what we'll do here is we'll pop our party robot prototype right there. And we'll pop our other one maybe like this. And then we can send War Master Habby kind of in back around like this. Now, the one thing we might want to consider doing is using Last Stand here. Again, we are low on mana, but... So, a couple of choices here. We could throw it on one of our party robots. Or we could throw it on our musketeer. I think maybe we'll throw it on our party robot that has a little bit more health. Alright, so this is actually going to be somewhat challenging just because... Ooh, going after my engineers. I guess I shouldn't be all that surprised. The AI just loves to go after those little guys. Alright, so it would be great to kill off this Wyvern and then see if we can unleash some hell on these lesser air elementals. So, one option might be... Oof, yeah, and that shock damage is going to make a mess of our machine units. So, maybe what we do is... Decisions, as always. Now, we could use this party robot prototype and do some big damage and probably get the kill. So let's try that. Oh, not quite. Very, very close to getting the kill. War Master Habby can now get the finish. Unfortunately, we may end up losing this party robot here as it's in rough shape. And the Shock Serpent could come in and put some hurt on it. Now, the good news here is that this frees up our musketeers to come in and put some real work in. So now, the question is, who do I want to attack? I could do some pretty hefty damage to these baby shock serpents, but I think they are the lesser of the two evils here. I think they pose less of a threat to us. So instead, perhaps we... Yeah, and there's some fire weakness here, which we can take advantage of. So let's do that. Oh, fantastic. That's going to make things a lot easier for us now. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to step up like this, and then use our Fire Spit ability. Get the kill there. And then I think what we might do is just park our party robot right here in defense mode. And let the Shock Serpent do their worst. Nice, okay, and we were able to just kind of stave off the attack. So thankfully we didn't lose anybody. We did get a little bit of experience here. We got a level up with our engineer and our party robot prototype. And all in all, not a bad outcome. Okay, So we're going to head back down because we want to grab this flame tank and then think about maybe jumping over to deal with these orcs. And of course, we want to have this stack probably maybe in and around the city here when the event happens. But we can figure that out. So Arundel is trying to join us. We're not going to be dealing with that because, again, we need the city well defended for the upcoming event. Valak, again, we're going to continue not to accept it because, again, we don't have anything in the immediate vicinity that's able to assist here. Now, in terms of our Theocrats, so we've got our 2 Theocrat stacks. We have Holly the Chosen here, who we were planning to kind of head over this way and maybe jump underground and go do some clearing out there. Now, Holly can move over here and deal with these Tigrans and maybe try to recruit one with Convert. And then we also had, of course, Pimpton over here, who I wasn't exactly sure what we were going to do with him, but one option would be to move around, grab this watchtower, grab this lost library. But again, Spencer makes a good point that if I were to send over here, definitely want to get one unit over here for sure, whether that ends up being War Master Hobby or if it ends up being Pimpton. I mean, obviously War Master Hobby is a little bit closer, but would just be an extra turn or two if we wanted to use Pimpton. One thing we could do, I suppose, we could grab this, maybe try and head over and go for this lost library. That would be an option. We would have to go across the mountains if we wanted to go this way and then try. So that's something we could consider. Yeah, kind of in a not an ideal situation here. I just wanted to make sure this dragon dwelling was ready to let me know when you're ready to talk, because if Pimpton's around, we might be able to handle their quest if they have one for us. I think it would be really good to get this watchtower under our control just so we can see anything that's coming from the north here. That would really open up our vision range and give us a warning system to detect any incursions that might be coming from the north. So I have to kind of think about this a little bit. Now, obviously, since we have Convert with Pimpton, that's going to be really useful for us. And we obviously want him going where there's units that are convertible that we might be able to take advantage of. I suppose the other option with Holly is we just ignore this underground area. The only problem is that we've had undead units come out of here and harass our cities, and I don't really want to have to continue to worry about that. So it's kind of a tough decision, but I think we will send Holly over here. So let's take on this battle and see if we can recruit somebody. And again, once Holly hits level 11, we will get Divine Justicars, which will give all of our units Resurgence, and that will make them very, very capable of kind of acting on their own. So I think at that point, it actually would be kind of nice to have her go underground, just because then we'll be in really good shape in terms of the army will be able to kind of sustain itself without too much issue. Okay. I think we're going to turtle up a little bit here just to let them kind of come to us. So we'll bring in our skewer's kind of in rough shape here, so we're just going to park him in the corner. I think we will buff the resistance here of our ogre. We can move our flyer down like this. And our adventurer can just kind of hang out the way he is, I think. Alright. Ooh, going after my adventurer there and did some big damage. Thankfully, we should be able to deal with some of this. Alright, so we've got our skewer here who... They could at least flank the Huntress. So maybe what we'll do is we'll make it such that they only do a single attack, because that way they won't take a retaliatory attack. Now, our adventurer obviously is in kind of rough shape, so we're going to have to figure out what to do with him. Again, if we lose the skewer, it's not really a big deal. Now, I would like to recruit probably the Saber-Tooth Chariot. One of these two chariots. That would, I think, be ideal for me. The Ogre can just beat the heck out of this Prowler, which might be a good move. Alternatively, I could just try and get the kill with the range shot here. You know, that's not such a bad idea. The only problem is, realistically, it's probably not going to get the kill. because we'd have to get a 33 or higher, which is at the upper end of the rolls. So maybe what we'll do with the Musketeer is move in like this and blast that chariot. And then I think what we'll do here, we'll use the Ogre to kill off the Prowler. There we go. Not too much difficulty. And then I think we should be able to kill off the chariot. Now, we obviously want to try and kill this Huntress. And again, we might... I don't want to lose the Adventurer because he's in really good shape. I mean, if we did, it wouldn't really be the end of the world, to be perfectly honest. But let's see. Where can Sprint get us? Sprint can get us all the way back around like this, which I think would be good for us. And you know what? Rather than do damage, let's just throw him in defense mode. What kind of damage does this do? Not quite enough to get the finish, I don't think. Unless we got really lucky with some damage here. What about if we were to cast a spell? Smite. Yeah, if it... Only a 39% chance, so that's not really going to work for us. Again, and we want our flyer probably going after this chariot. I'm thinking... Let's see, what kind of damage can we do to the chariot? Not a ton here. Now, if we do, let's say we do 2, 2, and 2, that would be 6 damage, lowering it down to 21 health, which then we would have to get a high roll to get the kill here. That's still not really ideal. Not to mention, we've still got this Sun Guard who's going to be able to do some big damage to our flyer. Oh, this battle just got a little bit more complicated here, actually. Now, one thing I suppose we could do, we could use our... Oh, and nice, we got a critical hit. That's going to actually open this up a little bit more now. So now if we use Holly and do this, now we should be able to get the kill with our flyer without any real difficulty here. Now, our flyer is in rough shape here, but we can kind of... Thankfully, we have killing momentum as we're at gold medal now. So we can now actually put ourselves in defense mode. And we're going to probably lose the skewer, which, I mean, that's, again, kind of unavoidable. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Lucky's doing some work for us there, of course. Very nice. All right, so now we have the opportunity here to try for a conversion. Only a 39% chance. Let's see what our odds of using Throw Curse would be. 65% chance to curse. And if we do curse, that would mean -2 resistance, which would dramatically improve our odds. The only problem is I don't know if we really have any way to, like, subdue the chariot such that it won't continue to attack me. So that's a little bit of an issue for me. I mean, the Musketeer can kind of just deal with it, I suppose. That would be an option. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to move our Adventurer over like this. Do a little bit of damage there. We'll park our Ogre like that. Ooh, and do some massive damage there, which is great. Then I think what we're going to do, we're going to try for a curse. But I want to kind of move myself out of there a little bit. Like this. And then we're going to throw the curse. Okay, very nice. So now this unit is cursed. So let's kind of go... Don't think the chariot's going to be a huge threat to Holly, so I think we're okay there. Now, this may end up resulting in the chariot just dying, but I think if we do that, hopefully it goes after the Musketeer, and then I don't think it'll... Oh, no, went after my... That's too bad. It went after my flyer and suicided itself. Maybe I shouldn't have put the flyer next to it like that, but... Again, I was hoping that with the Throw Curse, I'd then be able to try for the conversion next turn. Again, that was the risk I was taking. It would be nice to grab a Big Beetle since we're going to be heading underground, and that would give us a unit with tunneling. But of course, that's 300 and some gold there. Let's see how much. 320, which I don't really want to spend on that. Now, here we go. Divine Justicars. All units in the hero's army gain Resurgence. This is big. This is really big for us. This makes a tremendous difference. So we will grab that. And now, Holly's stack is going to be very, very powerful. That's going to make a huge difference. And one thing I might do, actually, with Holly, because, again, the only major risk now is that if Holly dies, the whole kind of thing falls apart. So let's just beef her up a little bit and just make her a little bit harder to kill. with some of our extra points. Yeah, so this worked out very, very well for us. Now that we have a level 11 Theocrat with Divine Justicar. Okay, so that whole stack is going to be in good shape now. We can use our units as kind of like kamikaze sort of suicide units if necessary, because we're going to just get them back at the end of battle. So we can play it a little bit more fast and loose. We don't have to be quite as conservative with our approach in battle. But of course, we still, you know, don't want to take unnecessary risk. So now, what do I do with Pimpton? Again, a big part of me wants to just go for this Watchtower and this Lost Library here. But, you know, and again, I'm probably going to send War Master Habby underground eventually. Because again, there is some nastiness we need to get rid of down there. But obviously, we do want to have a unit come on over to Valok as well. I think that's a great idea. You know, I think since we're kind of using War Master Habby as kind of the machine stack here, since we're giving him the items to maintain that, I think maybe we'll keep War Master Habby over here, since we're going to be producing machine units out of Hard Thistle that can join in with him. So, you know what? I think we're going to actually keep Pimpton over here, at least for the foreseeable future. We're going to have him go for this Watchtower next, just so we can get the vision range, and then grab this Lost Library, and then from there we can decide what we want to do. So, again, maybe not... It's a tough call. It's a very tough call to make. I think that's what I'm going to go with for now, though. Alright, so we've already used our spy drone over here. This stack we've already moved as we had to kill off some of Colm's units. Our stack here, we're probably going to keep them in the city for now, just because we've got some nastiness coming our way, not to mention the unknown of maybe Colm has additional forces. It would be great to grab this Watchtower so we could see what's going on out here. But let's jump to the Shadow Realm, as I know we still have some work to do down here. Alright, so now we have the issue of the quest from Decry. So again, I think what we will do is we will accept this quest, and we're going to do kind of what was suggested. We're going to divert some of our units over there. So we'll probably send one Storm Priest, because again, they can summon those lightning sprites, which might come in handy. The Executioner might be kind of decent to have in there as well. Let's see what else we've got. So one of these support units might be worth. Maybe we send the Brew Brother just to have the healing. We also have to think about splitting off a stack here with Leo. So maybe let's think about, alright, if we're going to split our stack, we're going to want Welby, one of the Brew Brothers, the Pony Rider, probably the Farmer coming with Welby. We can leave one Brew Brother for Leo so that he has something to work with. So we'll do that. And then let's jump up this way. And then I think what we'll do is we'll send the Blight Doctor along with. And that's going to give them... So the reason I'm doing that is the Blight Doctor has Weakening, which will lower resistance and make it easier for Welby's... he's going to have this Dominating Chicken next turn, which will allow him to dominate enemy units. So, again, lowering their resistance will improve the odds of this happening. Hence why I'm including the Blight Doctor there. I think that would do the most benefit. And then in terms of Leo's stack, I think we'll give Leo the Mystic, because the Mystic has the ability to turn into the Werepanther and can become sort of a melee unit if need be. And then the Elder... Might want to send the Elder along with Welby's stack here, just so that we have some extra fire damage. I think maybe that's going to be the play. So yeah, let's do that. And then now with Leo, we can grab... I guess the Brew Brother can go along with Leo for now. Now, what do we do with Welby? I would like to maybe head off this way and see what we can find. Meanwhile, with Leo, I suppose we could kind of head up this way. Maybe go clear out this glass furnace, for example. So, yeah, we'll head Welby over this way. Yeah, okay, we've got an item rack. We can try that out. Now, as for these units, again, we're going to be sending a few of them off. So, we'll send off the Storm Priest here. So yeah, we're going to be heading over like this. That'll only take a few turns to get there. We are up against Draconians. You know what? The Exterminator is probably going to be best served by doing this, just so we have a good melee unit. And then I think in Ripura, we'll just make another Storm Priest here. The Shadow Elf Touched, I suppose, could go along for the ride with this group. And that would probably be enough to handle what we've got coming our way. I suppose the other option is we just send another Storm Priest. And then again, we probably want at least one Storm Priest maybe joining in. Although we're going to just have a bunch of support units with Leo. So we kind of need a melee unit to accompany Leo's stack here. So might have to kind of figure something out. Now this Shadow Elf Touch does evolve when it hits gold medal. So, and it can become one of the kind of tier 1 or tier 2 units of the Shadow Elves. So, let's think about this. I've already got a Storm Priest in there, so maybe we'll just send the Touched along for that ride. And then these three can head on over and try and do this quest. And then meanwhile, this Storm Priest can just continue to guard the city for now. Meanwhile, Leo's stack, I think since we have Phoenix Warrior, we can probably make do with what we have for now and try and add something into this stack. Maybe produce a unit from Ripura here. We could maybe make another Shadow Elf Touched or something and group them in or whatever. But we'll figure something out for Leo. Alternatively, we could try and recruit something with Welby and then send him off to join Leo. But I think that's the play there. Okay. Let's go back to the surface here. So we do still have a little bit of production left we can do in Assiat here. Let's just make sure what other production we can do. Fahas, we still have capability. Hard Thistle, we're already working on something. Our Throne, we're already working on a cannon. Beb June, we're actually not doing anything. So last turn, we did the Filth Pit just to provide some extra defense for the city. Again, I really like this idea from Ivan Rockland, where we're going to send, I think, the Untouchable down underground here. Assuming he doesn't get attacked by anything on his way down there. And we're going to try and make some extra gold using that little kind of plan. Now, what else could we do? Can we do anything else in Beb June with only our 82 gold? I mean, yeah, we can start producing some extra units, I guess. Okay, what do we got here? We've got a Musketeer, a bunch of Spy Drones, a Builder. We've got kind of a decent smattering of ranged units here and a Golem. Might be nice to just maybe make another Musketeer. Actually, you know what? Maybe we do an Engineer. Let's do an Engineer so that we have a unit to kind of help us maintain our Golem and reload our Musketeer unit as well. So let's do that. We'll produce an Engineer, and that's going to kind of use up most of our gold for the time being. So I think what we'll do in Assiat here is we'll just focus on merchandise for a turn. Same story over here. We also have to remember that we have this unit down here that we just did a little exploring. We're going to be sending this Predator back to join in with Fahas here for the defense. Now, we could start casting a spell. Again, mana is pretty tight at the moment. Another Spy Drone might be kind of useful here. You know, what we could do, we could summon the Spy Drone here with Welby to kind of decide if we want to commit him to going this direction or not. Maybe that's something I should have done even beforehand, so let's do that. Now, let's just zoom on down the road. All right, we have a city here. All right. Oh my goodness, and it is the Archons. So this was a recent update to the Shadow Realm expansion mod pack, where now you can actually encounter these Archons as let's see here, it's a dwelling. So you can encounter them as a dwelling faction. So that's fantastic. You know what? I'm going to really try my best to get them on my side since I am good. I'm actually very excited about this. This is my first time encountering them as a faction that you can have as a dwelling. Normally, they're just occupying some of the Archon fort structures. So we're going to negotiate with them. Let me know when you're ready to talk. I'd be happy to do a quest or something for them. So maybe we can use Welby to do that. And yeah, this would be prime for us. We can handle this battle for sure with what we've got, I think. So we'll be in good shape there. Now let's see what else we've got around here. So it looks like we've just got kind of void. So this is a bit of a dead end, but we want to see if maybe we can handle the quests here for this dwelling, because that would be fantastic to get them on our side. Now this guy up here was going to do some extra scouting as well. We had been kind of hunting around looking for spawning structures, which were causing us some grief earlier. Now the question is, where do I want to go? And I can't go into this void area. So I think the only option then with the spy drone would be to basically come on back this way. And what we might even do is just head down here, try and kind of protect some of our occupied territory a little bit. We can even send the spy drone over to help out with this quest, for example. All right, back to the surface here. I think we're going to just kind of chill right there because we're low on mana. We're not going to worry about casting anything else. And that's going to do it for our turn. Again, I do have to be kind of careful with these next few turns because this Rise of the Dire Penguins could really cause me some serious grief. So I don't want to lose any of my major cities. I don't want this to kind of set me back and cause me some problems. So we're going to try our best to make good decisions, which is always a bit of a challenge. But we really don't want to lose anything, especially since we have, again, now these 3 opponents here potentially invading us in the next few turns. Especially since we kind of... we probably angered Colm a little bit by killing off some of his units, so I'm sure he'll be back. It would also be ideal if we can raid some structures to get some extra knowledge income, because we have 8 turns till we're able to make Juggernauts. So being able to make Juggernauts would be a huge boost for us as well. I mean, they are pretty expensive units, obviously, but it would be nice to just have a couple of them. Just in case we start coming up against some stacks of powerful units, I think it would be great to have them at our disposal. Although, of course, you know, we can make do with cannons in the meantime, because cannons are quite powerful. Okay. Lots of things going on here, and we didn't see anything in our borders from our opponents, so I suppose that's probably a good thing for now. Okay, we've received a proposal from Kurzu. Okay, this is a Draconian Outpost up north. We will accept that. And... you know what? Yeah, let me know when you're ready to talk now that we've made peace. They may have a quest for us in the near future. Okay. Anything else kind of crazy happening? We did have an item arrive, so now this is great. So now we have the ability to dominate with Welby. So that's going to make a big difference for us. Oh, so they had... this is an Archon Titan prior to... so this is the unit that eventually would end up becoming a Revenant Titan, an Undead Titan. So this is the living version. You know what? I think we're going to actually do this. I really want to push our relationship with this dwelling. So we're going to actually open our borders and sign a peace treaty. And hopefully they are going to be interested in becoming our vassal soon. So 4 turns for that. And maybe they'll have a quest for us in the meantime. Alright, so let's move Welby on down here. We can do this battle for this item rack, and we've got some Draconian units we can try and dominate one of them. Now, the spy drone, I suppose now that we've made friends with them here, we could actually check on through what's on the other side. Might actually be a good idea. So we do have a watchtower over there. That would be nice to... oh, it's within the domain, so we'd have to get control of this to have access to it, but... be great to just see what's kind of down in the corner. But before we worry about that, let's do this battle with Welby. Now, which unit do I want to try to get my hands on? That's the question. So let's think about this a little bit. I mean, again, the only tier 2 unit here would be our Elder, so that might be the play. Alright, so We obviously want our Pony Rider probably up front doing some of the work here. We also have our Farmer who can do some pretty good work himself. Can really blast their Flamer and actually almost get the kill. Or not quite get the kill, but do a decent amount of damage, I should say. Yeah, these Temple Guard are pikemen, so they're going to be a bit of an issue for us. So, you know what? Let's move over here. We'll throw Guarded by Flames on our Pony Rider. And then we're going to kind of entice them to come on down and deal with us here. So we'll keep our Blight Doctor kind of near our... near Welby so that we can use the weaken on the target that we're after. Now, as for our Elder here, you know, we don't want our units getting necessarily in range so that they can start getting beat up. So we'll keep our Brew Brother at the back. Meanwhile, our Elder, we'll probably just keep there. And our Pony Rider we can keep like that. So we'll just let them kind of move in towards us a bit. Okay, great. Now they're in closer range. We can do some of our ranged... We can do some work with our ranged attacks here. Yeah, we can do some big damage here. Very nice. And then we can do some additional big damage with our Elder. And then we should be able to just walk up and get the kill with our Farmer. Excellent. That takes care of that. So now we have to worry about these Temple Guard and their stabby pikeman ability here. So let's blast this Temple Guard. Ooh, and we got a nice critical hit there. That makes a huge difference. Oh, yeah. And then we can get the big blast finish here. Ooh, you know what? We can actually do this. We should still get the finish on the Temple Guard that's weak. So let's do that. Very nice. And then our Pony Rider can kind of tank this damage. Again, not ideal. We generally don't want cavalry going up against our pikeman units, but should be able to kind of handle that damage. The unit's doing a good job of just kind of handling it. Alright, so now I think what we're going to want to do with Welby is we want him up to deal with this Elder, because we obviously want to try for a Dominate on the Elder. So let's see here. We could... Again, it would be great to just drop a heal with our Brew Brother. So let's, you know what, let's do that. And then we can step up with our Elder like this. Do a little flank attack and then get the kill with our Farmer. Meanwhile, with Welby now, I suppose we want to just kind of step up like this. And we can do... Oh, and they've got fire protection, so we're not going to be able to immolate. So we can just do a little damage, I guess. And then our Blight Doctor, we don't want him getting too far in there because obviously we don't want to put him in any risk, but we do want to throw a weaken on there. So let's do that. Very nice. Now, I have to be careful because we don't want to lose our Blight Doctor to some fire damage, but I think we'll be alright. Alright, there we go. Taking a bit of damage, but we can tank that, no worries. And now we should be able to go for a Dominate. 65% chance, pretty good odds. We got it. Fantastic. So there we go. We got ourselves another unit. Always happy to do that. And then let's see what we get for items here. Jack's Gift, some extra hit points, and a Backstab Dagger. So I think I will maybe just take those rewards. The extra hit points is always nice. We're kind of low. We don't really have a ton of items for our heroes at the moment, so I might as well just start equipping things. Again, a little extra health for Welby's never a bad thing. Now, this particular unit isn't really going to benefit Welby's stack all that much, so I guess we'll send him off to maybe eventually join up with Leo. Let's go see what we're up against here. So, some machine units that we're going to need to be killed off. So, I think if we use our spell, we should be okay in this particular battle. That spell being Phoenix Warrior. So I think with Welby, we are going to continue heading down this way now that we've made peace with these Archons. So let's take a look at these units. I've actually never encountered an Archon Titan before. So again, this is what the unit looked like before it became an undead revenant. So just to look at the Archons here. So this creature is a living Archon and has terrain. They like fertile plains. They dislike blighted and volcanic. Bonuses. They are dedicated to good, and they have 40% spirit protection inherent. So obviously that's going to benefit us since we are of good alignment. They have Shadow Walker, which is great. And they have, ooh, look at this, 100% fire protection and some spirit protection. So that's pretty nifty. That's actually going to go really well with us as a Dreadnought, since we're going to probably be doing lots of fire damage, and these units would actually go well with flame tanks and all those kinds of things. So very happy to have them. Try and get them as a vassal and eventually maybe get control and start producing some units. That's fantastic. All right. Now, with Leo, do we want to try this battle? Again, we got some machines here. Machines have blight and spirit protection, but shock weakness. You know what? I think we can probably manage this battle. I think we can handle it here. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. The biggest thing we don't want to happen is to have the spy drones blow up on us and cause us all kinds of issue. So I think the first thing we're going to do is use Leo to put Phoenix Warrior on himself. And that way we can use Leo a little bit more aggressively than we otherwise might be comfortable doing. So ideally, I would like these spy drones to just kind of move right up on us here. So you know what? We could even, I suppose we could even park Leo kind of right where they're going to show up. I think like this. And then we're going to form just kind of a ring. And then we could also throw another spell if we really wanted. We could throw a last stand on Leo. Might be a good idea just to beef him up a bit if we're going to send him in as a melee unit. Okay, those spy drones are intelligent. They decided to hang back. So let's step up with our Brew Brother. And unfortunately, I didn't realize this is the Brew Brother that is a little lower on health at the moment. Okay, that's going to kill that spy drone, which is great. I think what we'll actually maybe do here is we'll send Leo up the gut to just attack this spy drone. Yeah, that'll hopefully kind of tie that up a bit. Now with our Mystic, I think we'll just blast these hatchlings. Do some damage there. Now, the only thing that's a little scary is this robot moving down. The only other thing is this spy drone, I suppose. Oh, okay, it can't move in and attack my Brew Brothers, so that's just fine. Ouch. Okay, there we go. So Leo took some big damage, but thankfully, again, he does have Resurgence. So what we'll do is we'll throw a Nourishing Meal on him. And then we're going to use our other Brew Brothers here to bail out our Mystic, who's in some trouble. There we go. And then I think what we'll do is we'll move around like this. And you know what? We might even just Werepanther ourselves just so that we have a little bit extra health kind of coming back. Alright, and our hero actually survived. Again, if he had died, that would have been just fine since he does have Resurgence. But we can actually move in and drop a big heal on him, which is great. And then our Dire Panther can move in and do a pounce attack here. Get the kill. Awesome. So, again, using those spells just makes that a little bit easier. Again, we have to be careful because we're using up a lot of our mana, but that just gives us a little bit more flexibility there, which is great. Let's see, what else do we have here? So, probably go this way and clear out that watchtower, which is going to be good for us. We did get a level up here with Leo, so now we can start working on having the getting upgrades that benefit the units in the stack. So probably the first thing we'll do is range command, I think. Because again, we've got ranged units here that do range damage, so that's going to benefit them a little bit. So yeah, we're just going to work on now being having Leo manage his stack, his army a little bit better. I think that more or less takes care of the Shadow Realm. That's kind of good. So we've really got sort of an autonomous little group here in the Shadow Realm, composed primarily here of Leo and Welby and kind of these other miscellaneous units. And they're kind of doing their own thing here in the Shadow Realm. Meanwhile, we've got battles going on the surface, obviously, and a little bit of potential underground soon that we're going to have to deal with. Okay. So now with Pimpton, I think what we'll do is we'll head over. We want to grab this just so that we have the vision of it. I think that's going to benefit us, having this extra vision range so that we can see anything that's coming at us kind of before it gets there. Now, we are going to go for a conversion this battle, if possible. Maybe we could try for one of these Tigran, the Tigran Shredder here. Ranged unit that does some pretty nasty damage that can cause bleeding. So, yeah, I think we'll blast this Shredder over here. And then we can step up with our Slither. Meanwhile, our Sun Guard over here, I think we'll just kind of park right there. Now, Pimpton, let's see, can we get the conversion off on the Shredder? We did get lucky. Now, the only problem is Sun Guard's going to be able to attack our Shredder, so we're going to camp them out in defense mode here. So maybe I should have waited, but we'll see. I suspect we may end up losing this Shredder now. Okay, Pimpton tanking some damage there. There we go. Our Sun Guard doing their job as well. Thankfully, our Shredder are in good shape here, so we will step them off, and we could probably get the kill outright on this Sun Guard. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. No worries. And now Pimpton, I think we will move around and heal up our Sun Guard, who took some beating there, doing their job as a tank. Meanwhile, our Adventurer here need to kind of get out of dodge a little bit, so let's see. Can we sneak around behind and do some flank shots here? Yes, we can. And then with our Flyer, we can jump around and do a nice big flanking charge shot and get the kill. And then our Slither should be able to finish off the Predator. Fantastic. Alright, so we recruited ourselves a Tigran Shredder, which is great because we were missing a unit in this stack. And it's nice that it's a ranged unit because we have melee, 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 irregular hero. So now we have a kind of dedicated ranged unit, which is not bad at all. And now, can we step off here and keep moving? Yeah, we'll step off and the Shredder can follow us next turn. So then we're going to head down to this Lost Library and see what we can do in there. Maybe we should go take a look at just how strong it is real quick, though, since we're kind of able to do that with our other unit. So we'll send this Predator up to guard the city. And, yeah, let's send this guy over and just take a peek at how nasty this is. I think we can handle this. So one Evangelist, who obviously that's going to be the thing we have to watch out for with its conversion. And then we've just got some apprentice units here, a priest and a reanimator. So obviously if any of our units go down, we're going to have to watch out for the raised corpse ability, turning them into cadavers. But I think we can probably manage that with what we've got. So again, our Flyer and our Slither are going to be up front along with our Sun Guard doing some of the work. So I think we'll be all right. Now, as for Holly over here, I think we're going to just kind of head straight underground here. We do have a Lost Library over here, but aren't quite able to get there this turn. Let's take a peek underground and see what we have. Okay, so we've got something over in this direction here. It looks like one of those... these structures tend to give you research or knowledge as a reward, I think. And then we've got something over here as well. So we've got options kind of either way. Well, we're going to have to go up this way no matter what. So let's do that. There's something over here probably. Well, we'll figure out what we're doing with Holly here. What we might want to do is maybe we summon a spy drone down here and use that to scout ahead for Holly. You know what? I don't mind that idea, so let's do that. Summon the spy drone, and then we'll go scout ahead. So we don't want to waste our movement if we can avoid it. Okay, there's the Haunted Boneyard that was giving us trouble. Let's just see how strong it is. Okay, pretty tough, but we should be able to handle it, especially since we have Divine Justicars now. And we do have a city down here, so plenty of things for us to do with Holly down here. So I think that's a good choice that we sent her down there. Plus, we need to get rid of that Boneyard just so it doesn't threaten us anymore. Threaten our cities. Okay, so that takes care of kind of our Theocrats now. So, got 221 gold to work with. So, and we now have our Flame Tank. So we can maneuver War Master Habby on down this way. Now, unfortunately, our party robots are both kind of beat up. Now, does War Master have... He does not have his item yet, and that would probably explain why they're still in rough shape. I suppose we could just kind of head on over like this. Move the Flame Tank over. And be kind of ready to try out that battle when the time comes. Alright, so now in our throne we should have the cannon, which is great. We're going to want to produce another unit, maybe an engineer to help with reloading the cannon. Now, in Hard Thistle, we're going to want a unit as well, maybe a cannon. I think that would probably be a good idea for us at this point. So we'll do the cannon. That only gives us 91 gold. So, yeah, gold is rapidly becoming, or has, I guess, really become kind of our main headache, our main limiting factor. Now, let's see if we can get this Untouchable past this spawning structure without dying. Okay, well, there's nothing here, so hopefully one more turn we can get down there and start digging away to get some extra income. Now, thankfully, there's a little bit of gold there. That's going to help tremendously. Now, what is this? This is an Orc Outpost. Sure, let me know when you're ready to talk. And we'll back up like that. I should have maybe tried to stay in the water, but I think now we'll head north along this river and see what we find with this spy drone. Now, the other question is, do I want to maybe send one of these spy drones off to go and do a little bit of exploring up north? See if we can figure out where our opponent is hanging out. And also, we can bring our units back, and now we really want to see if we can make an army to deal with this ancient ruin, because we've got all these different units now that we can kind of figure out a stack, perhaps, to go in there and raid that thing. Alright, so now let's continue thinking about our production since we have the gold. So we're doing the cannon in Hard Thistle, in our throne city. I mean, we could just do another cannon in a single turn, which would be kind of cool, but that is expensive. Let's do the engineer so the engineer can reload the cannon. And then that still leaves us with a little bit of money to be able to produce maybe some extra units, like, again, over in Beb Jun here. You know, it'd be fantastic to do this blast furnace, but we don't have the mana for it, and I don't really want to spend all that gold just yet, because we're currently limited to only tier 2 units, which is a little bit of an issue if we're going to raid this ancient ruin. Plus, we're going to be cursed when we go into that battle. Now, I don't think our machine units can be cursed. Yeah, because they have 100% spirit protection, so they won't be affected by curse. So that's actually a good thing. That means that we'll have a little bit more leeway in that respect. So let's do another golem, and then I think we will have an army to go in there and do some damage. We'll move this builder over just so it can start repairing that golem. So once that golem's produced, we'll send the stack over to deal with that, and we can start deciding what to do with all these units that we have kind of hanging around. Now, this little scout, again, we were kind of moving him back over here just to help maybe guard this city a little bit. And again, Rise the Penguins on its way. This stack, there's a little bit of gold there we can grab on our way through, which is another huge benefit for us. And, yeah, we just want to kind of follow this road. There we go. Yeah, picking up that little extra gold kind of on our way through makes actually a pretty big difference. Alright, so let's see. I think now... Okay, we'll just deal with our join offers, which, again, we are not accepting. Same with Valak for now. We're going to not accept. We've still got 56 mana, so if we really wanted to, we could summon another spy drone. Let's think about our production. So we have enough gold now that we can actually produce something half decent here. Got a cheetah defending. It would be great to have another unit to defend. Perhaps a musketeer just to provide some kind of oomph. So let's do that. A little bit of ranged oomph. Because again, we are going to come under attack there, I'm almost certain. Fahas, we have 2 units guarding the city. Maybe we go with a Shredder as well, just to have a ranged unit here. Might make a difference. And then, yeah, that's going to kind of about do it for our turn. I think we'll save the mana. We won't cast anything else. And I think that's going to about do it for this turn. So we will end it there. And again, the cannon, I'm only keeping the cannon in my throne until this Rise of the Dire Penguins ends. Once that's over, I'm going to send the cannon off to go and start joining with my other units. I might even send the cannon over towards Beb Jun, because it really does need, I think, some big boy units, especially since that's probably where we're going to come under attack from our opponents. Speaking of which, let's see if Colm decides to try and harass us some more. Again, thankfully we have a number of units there guarding the city. Nothing super strong, but we do have just kind of volume of units. Although I think 3 of those, like I said, are spy drones. But we could always charge right in and go for the blow-up approach. Oh, Suppressed Nature has been disjuncted here by Awanese. Oh, and look at this. Okay, what the heck? We've had a domain invasion at Bittercrest. Oh my goodness. So they snaked all the way down there. Holy. And now we've encountered Galendil, Zorn, Quandria. Okay, well, this is getting interesting. So thank goodness I'm in the process of producing units here to help protect my throne city, because boy oh boy, now we've got units coming in. This is getting spicy real fast. Boy, we're not gonna lie to you guys, we are in pretty tough here, that's for sure. But I think we can turn this around. I think we have the infrastructure set up now. Okay, so we're coming under attack from some scoundrels. I'll do this one manually. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid losing the unit here just because they have the ranged attacks, but maybe we can get in there and blow up and put some hurt on him at least. You know what? The goblin scoundrel in particular will be susceptible. There we go. Because of the low health, so there we go. At least we killed off one of them. You know, if it wasn't for this Rise of the Dire Penguins, I wouldn't be quite so concerned about guarding my territory. That's throwing kind of a wrench into the mix. So holy cow, they've had a unit sneak all the way down here and move along through this wooded area. So you know what? That's a great example there of, if you don't have any watchtowers or anything like that giving you an early warning system, you could get ambushed real easy. So thank goodness again that I was building some units here. We've got at least a cannon and an engineer to guard the city. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to recast Suppressed Nature, which I'm gonna start working on right away. Although, hang on, maybe, you know what, let's hold off on that just in case we need to do like a spy drone or something, an emergency spy drone. Let's take a look at our new opponents here, so that the ones that we've encountered. So we have Galendil, who is a high elf archdruid. We have Quandria, who is a shadow elf rogue. Okay, now I wouldn't be surprised if Quandria is present in the Shadow Realm, because as a Shadow Elf, that should be the default spawning location. So I wouldn't be surprised if we encounter Quandria in the Shadow Realm. She's pure good. She might be the one who made it to pure good first and got that, became the prime good. Yeah, the rest of them, none of them are. Yeah, we have slightly good, good. So Quandria is the one who got prime good. And then we have Zorn, who is an Orc Warlord, who's going to be a beast. Big yikes. We're going to have to deal with him. He does have Adept and Master of Fire here. Quandria, on the other hand, has Adept of Earth, Explorer, and Greyguard Adept. Kind of interesting, she has Greyguard Adept, and yet is pure good. Galendil, on the other hand, is Creation Adept, Adept of Fire, Adept of Earth. So, yeah, we've got our hands full, but now at least we know what we're up against, so... Ay, ay, ay. So my guess, actually, seeing this unit come down here, is that the 3 that we've just encountered may actually be the enemies that are located to the north here, and the other 3 that we encountered first, so Colm, Camille, and Awanesi here, they may be off to this right side, off to the east. And that's why, again, Colm was kind of injecting in, coming in this way. And so that would actually make sense. So those 3 are probably located on this side, whereas the 3 I've just encountered are probably located to my direct north. At least that would be my guess. Okay. So yeah, these penguins are going to arrive shortly. So thankfully now we do have the repair kit sitting with War Master Habby, which is going to make a big difference for him, as he's now going to be able to kind of maintain his machine units a little bit better. Unfortunately, these party robots are still kind of in rough shape, so might want to hold off maybe a turn or 2 attacking the orcs, but we'll have to think about it. Let's do kind of the more sure things that we are going to do this turn. So thing 1 here is we're going to move our units in to defend our little outpost here, or I guess a village. Fahas is now a village. This shredder we're going to add into Pimpton's stack. And then I think what we'll do is we'll go and try out this Lost Library with Pimpton. It would be ideal, really, if we had hit level 11 and had Divine Justicars, as that would really kind of make this something I wouldn't even sweat this battle. But I think we should still be okay and be able to handle it. You know, of course, famous last words, but let's try it. I think we'll be all right. Importantly here, our alignment just changed to good as well, so we're gradually working our way up the good alignment ladder. Alright, so let's try it. Again, we do have the benefit here of we can give Strong Will to one of our units with Bestow Iron Heart, which is going to protect them from conversion attempts. So I'm probably going to give that to my flyer, who's going to most likely be kind of moving in there and having to do some work. So that's going to be step 1, is give that to the flyer. Blast this Dwarf Apprentice with some damage from over here, which might actually be kind of nice. Actually, pretty decent amount of damage. We can hit him with a little more, and then we could send in a unit to try and go for the kill. We could send up our Sun Guard here to put some work in. You know what? Let's do that. Ooh, nice. Nice. Okay. Now, we can move our Sun Guard up, and I think I'm going to just leave them in defense mode here. Meanwhile, our flyer can move in and try and do some work here on this Reanimator, perhaps. I got to be careful, though. I don't want to leave my flyer kind of hanging out to dry. Again, if we go in like this, we're going to be at a bit of a risk from all the damage that can come flyer's way. From the Priest, for example, with Spirit Ray. I mean, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. We've got 100% Spirit Protection, so the Priest can't really do anything to us anyway. The Evangelist can't convert us. The High Elf Apprentice here is the only one who's going to be able to do a bunch of damage to us, so I think we'll be fine. We even resisted the Inflict Despair, which is great. As for the Naga... You know what? Actually, okay, now that I think about this, let's do this. And then let's do this. There we go. That's great. Now we at least kind of have this apprentice tied up a little bit. Again, we're probably going to get a conversion attempt on one of our units over there, but let's see. Okay, resisted. Fantastic. There we go. We're tanking that damage, no problem. Fantastic. All right, that worked out very, very well. Now, kind of unfortunate here that Bestow Iron Heart was applied to the apprentice, as that's the unit we were probably going to try to convert, to be perfectly honest. We could still try to convert the priest. The only problem with that is very high spirit protection. So I think one thing that we could maybe do... We have a... I don't think we have any way to maybe steal enchantment. No. Yeah, that Bestow Iron Heart's just going to make it a little bit harder now to recruit that apprentice. Kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Just, again, annoying. Blast this Evangelist with some nice critical damage there. That makes a big, big difference. Do a little more to the Evangelist. Just really try and get the kill there. I think we'll just use our Naga to do that. Great. And then our Flyer can finish off the Reanimator here. Excellent. Alright, now let's think about how we want to proceed here. I think maybe we'll step up like this and just drop a heal on our Shredder. Meanwhile, our Sun Guard can step up and tie up that unit. Ooh, our Shredder taking some big hits. Oh, and our Shredder went down. Again, not the end of the world, just kind of unfortunate. I probably shouldn't have moved them up the way I did. Alright, so now let's think about conversions here. We got a 20%, and of course, immune because of the Bestow Iron Heart. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate. And I don't think we have, any way to get rid of that. Which is kind of a shame. I mean, alright, let's give it a shot. Really low odds. Didn't expect it to work, but... Yeah, disappointing, especially since we lost our Shredder due to my kind of stupidity there a little bit. Alright, let's flank the Priest. Flank the Priest again. And we'll step up with our Adventurer and just do a little bit of damage there. Make that a touch easier, and then get the kill. Well, again, we shouldn't have lost that Shredder. That was a mistake on my part, but we did get a lot of experience there, and hopefully we'll get some good rewards. Ooh, Fire Halo. So that's a spell that confers 100% fire protection and +2 fire strength on target friendly unit. So you know what? I will take that spell. That is great. Alright, now what do we do with Pimpton? That is the question. We could send him back, grab this Haste Berry, and then have him move on down, and there were still structures up here that needed to be cleared. There was this Lost Library. I think we did clear out a number of these, if I remember correctly. And we ventured into the Shadow Realm, and we gained ourselves a vassal... Whoops, we're underground. We gained ourselves a vassal city here, which you can see. I suppose we could end up going all the way back into the Shadow Realm, clear out some of these structures, try and recruit some units with Convert, treasure chest here. But I think we might want to keep Pimpton kind of on the surface here, especially since we may come under attack now, which would be not good. Alright, so now this unit can make it down to our throne. Thankfully, just a couple of elven units, so hopefully nothing too scary for us. We're not able to make it there to actually fight them if we wanted, so we're just going to hang out in our throne. Continue guarding. Again, we are anticipating the... Okay, here we go. So now we can start chunking away to make some extra cash. There we go. That's going to be good. We can start just kind of systematically just chunk, 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 and go through all this. And that will be good. Okay, I think we're actually going to call it an episode there. I didn't realize how long it had been. So I think that will do it. Let's zoom out here. And again, so now we've got another variable, which is the emergence of Galendil's unit in our area, but we now have uncovered the identities of all of our opponents. And we have kind of also a clue as to where they are. We're going to save this one as episode 11. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.